Everybody to our Success Mastermind for Friday, the 14th of August. I lost my internet connection just as we were going live, like exactly at the top of the hour. How auspicious. That's like rain on your wedding day or something. So we are back. We are live. I see, and it's Fun Friday. I see a lot of people are having
I have
fun.
a cat.
A lot of motorists out there today. I see Wayne, of course, paddling, not with a motor, but with his arms. Good to see you, Wayne. Caroline, there's that cat.
That's Princess Leia again.
Oh, my goodness. There's that. Of course, Eggo's here with us. Coila,
Hey,
Heather,
hi.
good to see you guys. Look at Glenn. Glenn's got some very Star Trek-y looking. Look, you know what, Glenn? You taunt me with that Vulcan hand thing all the time. I can't. I know you and Stuart are like.
It's deliberate. It is deliberate. We are making fun of you.
That's right. Look at Janet. Look at Star. Look at Tom. I'm like the odd man out over here. Rose.
Okay.
Rose,
Okay.
look at
I'm
the
gonna do a
spread
little.
that
I'm gonna do a
Rose
little
got
teaching
on
now.
there.
I'm gonna do a little
Yeah.
teaching now. Watch this. Vulcan salute. Incorrect Vulcan salute. That is the Nanu Nanu salute of Robin Williams' character Mort from the TV series Mort and Mindy.
Oh.
This
Even he could
is
do
a
it.
proper Vulcan salute.
Oh, I see. So you
With
gotta
the
have the
thumb
thumb
relaxed.
there as well.
It's all in the
Now,
thumb.
here's the other question. Does anyone know, and you Star Trek fans keep your lips zipped, does anyone know the origin, the real life origin of the Vulcan salute?
Oh,
No. I would imagine Star Trek, the character Spock, and we need to do something Vulcan-y, and they were-
Leonard Nimoy tells the story of when he was cast in the role of Spock, there was a need to create a Vulcan salute of some kind of salutation. And Leonard Nimoy was asked if he could come up with something. And he said it was actually fairly easy for him. This is actually part of a Sephardic blessing from the Jewish faith. If you ever go to a service at a synagogue, at the end of the service, when the Rebbe gives the blessing, he actually takes both hands and combines them.
John, that's cheating.
Oh.
This is the Sephardic blessing from the Jewish faith. And Leonard Nimoy's parents were Sephardic Jewish immigrants from Russia. He was born and raised in Boston. He was born Jewish. So this is actually from Jewish tradition.
Wow.
that's
Now we
amazing.
know.
Thank you.
and
Top
I've got
trivia of the day.
Scotch tape. So there's that.
Whatever it takes, right, John?
I got the Scotch
Whatever it
tape,
takes.
baby. All right, sign me up. Good morning, good afternoon, and evening, everyone. We are going to have a fun Friday today. Anybody got an animal we haven't met yet here? I know we just saw. Was it Caroline had her cat?
Yeah.
Now, Nancy, what do you got, Nancy? You got somebody for us to meet? Let's get you on.
Dude.
mute.
Joke. I have a joke.
Oh, well, please.
Lord have mercy.
Okay. So a guest calls the waiter over and complains, how come there are no chairs at our table? And the waiter shrugs, I'm sorry, but you only asked for one table.
Oh, very good.
No.
Bad.
I've got one.
were
I
so
figured you guys you're always giving me jokes, so I figured I'd do some research. Let's see here. Here's one. A grasshopper sits down at a bar. The bartender says, "We have a drink named after you." The grasshopper replies, "Who names a drink Steve?"
Very funny.
Elvie named her pot plant Steve. Just saying.
Leia.
So
Crickets?
I was going to
David-
introduce you to my
David's got
dog
a
here.
joke.
Oh, yeah.
David's got a joke.
There you go. Did I lose my internet feed again?
No, we can hear you.
No, we can hear you loud and clear, John.
Oh
We
my
hear
goodness.
you.
Okay, well, I got nothing, and then it says internet connection is unstable. You got the coleslaw joke. Okay, very good. So who else? Who has a joke or a dog or something? Share
I got a dog here I was going to introduce you to.
Yeah, Wayne, I want to see that dog who's also doubling as your ballast over
All
there.
right, here he is. This is Houston.
Houston.
We have a problem.
Houston.
And that's exactly where his name came from.
Yeah,
He got
we have
named
a
Houston.
problem.
Hey, Glenn's got a joke.
Beautiful. Thank you. Good to meet you, Houston. Glenn Henderson in Houston. Go ahead.
Yeah. So a photon is going through airport security. The TSA agent asks if he's got any luggage. He says, "Nah, I'm traveling light."
Very good.
Good stuff. Oh, I see that.
I got a joke.
Who's
I got
next?
a joke.
Stuart?
I got a joke.
Oh, Stuart, go ahead.
I pulled over to tell this joke. John, did you catch that documentary on Gandhi last night on the History Channel?
No.
No, it was pretty cool. They talked about how he was, sort of a renunciate and an aesthete and a bit of a mystic, right? And that when he died, he only had his only possessions were his robe, his glasses, and his sandals, right? Did you know that? And they said from walking around on the sandals, he walked miles and miles and hundreds of miles on these sandals, and his feet were just absolutely trashed and calloused, right? And then the other part, they talked about how he would do these fasts, right, as part of a spiritual practice, right? But also then one of the most famous things that he did was this big hunger strike, right, which helped bring the British colonists to their knees or whatever. And so the whole theme of the documentary was, oh, and by the way, they mentioned that because he did all this fasting, that he was just notorious for having bad breath. I don't know if anybody knew that. So anyway, the whole theme of the documentary was that Gandhi was a super fragile, calloused mystic plagued with halitosis.
Oh my God.
Somebody had to pull over. There you go.
You got it. That's the best
great.
one.
Where was John? I heard, or I saw John had his hand up. Now he's gone. John, are you there?
Well, speaking of Houston, how does NASA throw a party?
I don't know.
They plan it.
They plan it.
And
There you go.
That's a great
Right. So, Evelyn, you have your hand up?
Oh, yeah.
Tony.
This is Otis,
Oh my gosh.
and he's the puppy. He's the puppy. We've got a big one and we have a puppy, and he's a lap dog.
That's so cute.
the
And
big
he's a
puppy.
Labrador, so he's gonna be giant. He's gonna be not giant, but he's gonna be a lot bigger.
Oh.
Get him on
Yes.
the lap.
I thought he was big already, Evelyn.
Well, there are two. There are two dogs. The other one's a French Shepherd, and she's big.
So when your baby gets bigger, whose lap will he be on?
I don't know. I gotta get him off the lap, but he's a cutie.
Needs a bigger lap.
Good. Thank you for introducing us. There's Otis. All right. So I think somebody was waving a sticky note. Who was that? Probably
David.
David, come on out, brother.
Hi, John. You've been talking to yourself a great deal recently on screen. I wanted to point out that there are two reasons why a person talks to themselves. The first reason is that they like to talk to a sensible person.
Right.
And the second reason is they like to hear a sensible person talk.
There you go. Unfortunately, I'm not just. There you go. Thank you, Dave. All right. So we got Caroline and Kathy with their hands up. Caroline, come on out.
Okay. So, so just a quick question. The Facebook group, our new Facebook group, I don't seem to be in it, and I thought I was, and I don't know how to find it now. So can someone send me the name of our
Is that a joke or is that an actual question?
No, it's not a joke. It's a really serious concern.
So we do have a new Facebook group for the purpose of the Mastermind, which is about to launch. So I don't know if that's what you're asking.
Oh, I just meant the Blue Sky All Stars thing that I thought we.
Yeah, but they now call it Amazon All Stars.
Amazon All Stars. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
For the purposes of building your Amazon business, you guys can be in an All Stars group, which I think Stuart.
I thought I was already in it. I'm confused.
I believe Stuart's the master of that.
Thank
group.
you.
So,
Amazon All Stars. All right.
There you go. Kathy
Yes.
Marvel.
Blue scale stars.
Panda jokes. What you call a bear that jumps and never lands? You call him Peter Panda. Woo! Yeah. Yeah. And pandas got into a food fight and they all got bamboo-boos. Right?
They all got what?
Bamboo-boos. They got into a food fight, you know.
Bamboo.
I love
Oh, I see.
panda jokes.
Yeah.
So does my daughter. She's got her panda berry who
Does
she
she?
sleeps with. Yeah. Oh, she loves pandas. That's
So cool.
great.
Can I just say one more thing before I get off my Facebook group? I'm still pending, and I applied to join the group like weeks ago, so I don't know who's the admin. But
All
I'm
right,
still
Stuart
pending.
is admin on that. Stuart, get handled.
Yeah, and CJ, I think.
Yeah.
as well.
Sandy.
That's Andy's group.
That's Sandy.
Very good.
Candy.
Okay.
I'm getting mixed up.
And
Candy.
if somebody could authorize me, that'd be awesome.
All right, very good.
Sandy's the one who does that.
Very good. All right. Facebook groups. Well, we are gonna. I got something I think you guys are really gonna like today. Something that you can take and chew on throughout the weekend. But before I get into that, since we're talking about logistics and groups and everything else, I got a little bit of eye candy for those of you who are here with us as insiders. Let me go ahead and clear the microphones there. Hey, Maria, good to see you. Actually, I don't see you. I see your picture, but good to know you're here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Yeah, there you are. Go ahead and share my screen. Un momento. And then I will show you what we are doing, what is happening this weekend. So where's my Firefox? There it is. All right, you guys seeing my stuff? Get ready for this. Here is the John Lavenia Success Mastermind official members site. So this is launching this weekend. I'll show you a little peek inside real quick. This is all getting populated over the next 24 hours with all the content, of course, calendars. You're seeing one of the calendars here right now. We've got book recommendations. We're going to have a Facebook group, as was just alluded to. Profiles on any facilitators like Stuart, who facilitated a couple of days ago. Ego, in fact, you can see here on our bigger calendar. We've got marketing coming up, like marketing and branding training is going to be on, I believe, Thursdays. We got the kids club coming up. I got to get with you, Victoria, on that. Actually get it on the calendar. What do we have here? Tuesday, the 18th. This is real, by the way. Tuesday, the 18th, general session with Ego. Ego is going to be hosted on Tuesday. We're going to have proprietary links for each show. What do we got here on Wednesdays? Networking Magic with Glenn Henderson from Houston, who has stolen the show several times. Okay, so Glenn's going to be running, for people who want to build contact lists and do networking. Adventures in Mindset with Stuart Wild. Get your hiking boots on and enjoy Tales from the Trail with our favorite adventure guide. So we got a book study coming up. There is so much that we're going into this. We're also looking to have like a Q&A session, like general questions. We're going to have breakout groups, whether it's e-commerce or specific, business or life interests. I know Nicola is also looking to do a group, focus, intention, meditation kind of a thing as well. So all this is hitting the calendar. This website's going to be filled within the next, oh my goodness, 24 hours or so. So anyway, right here is a way to get on the list that is going to be getting first access to this. And again, we'll be rolling it out this weekend. So a lot of work has gone into this, guys. The address, I'll just go ahead and put in a chat, is just jlsuccessmastermind.com. So jlsuccessmastermind.com. If you're seeing this on YouTube or Facebook, you can also feel free to get on the insiders list with all that, and then you'll be getting access to it because we are going live, baby. I am so damn excited. And I'm excited to have such allies here with us on this project. This is something that I think a lot of has taken various forms throughout the last couple of decades. And personally, I'll just speak for myself because I was the guy who got to witness it all because I did it all. I've never seen this much synergy, this much of a bond with a group of people, like a true mastermind. What is a mastermind? And I want to talk with you about that a little bit here today, but then I want to get into something very light, because it is Fun Friday, and we're going to keep it light. although some fun Fridays have gotten pretty heavy. But Napoleon Hill said in his classic book, Think and Grow Rich, a couple of quick quotes here about this. He said, "Analyze the record of any man who has accumulated a great fortune, and you will find that they have either consciously or unconsciously employed the mastermind principle." And in all caps, he said, "Great power can be accumulated through no other principle." Napoleon Hill. So what he did, he studied people who were the most successful of the industrial age, right? His mentor was Andrew Carnegie, the first billionaire. Here's Henry Ford, William Wrigley, John Paul Getty, Charles Schwab, etc., right? Tom Edison. None of these guys did it alone. And so if we consider that, and the whole idea, and this is something that Stuart brought up to me a couple of weeks ago, when we started considering, what's the real value of this? Is it just a lecture? Well, no. I mean, we can go watch lectures right now. We go on YouTube, right? And we can hear recordings from fantastic lecturers, right? Here's Jim Rohn, here's Bob Proctor, here's Tony Robbins. Fantastic. Do it. But are you in that conversation? Is he really talking with you? One of the things that I've done throughout my entire experience of 35 years now of attempting to apply principles in my life is I've communed with people who are also in that on purpose conversation. Like there was a reason to be in that conversation. And the reason was to apply principles more fully into my life. It's one thing to have theory, but theory alone doesn't get it. I mean, think about it like this. Think about, I was talking to you right now, talking at you about phones. You've never seen a phone. You don't know what a phone is. You just landed on planet Earth 15 minutes ago. And I'm telling you that there is this reality known as phone, and it's a device, you see, and you can communicate with this device, and you can press buttons on the thing, and you talk, and there's a speaker and a microphone. You're like, I have no idea. I mean, it sounds cool, right? We can communicate with people in different locations. Oh yeah, it's pretty great, and but you've never seen a phone. You've never touched a phone. You've never used a phone, right? And then tomorrow, I'm holding this thing in my hand, and you're like, what the hell is that? Well, it's a phone. We just talked about it, right? Well, hold on. You said there was buttons. I don't see any buttons. So, and this may be a silly example, but it's one that I had right here in my face. There's a major difference between what I would say, the glib student, the one who, like in much of academia, goes through theory so they can regurgitate answers that they got from the textbook. Not that they're going to use any of this stuff in their life, right? But 2 + 2 = 4. Hopefully you will use that one in your life. And so on the math test, it said 2 + 2 =, and you wrote 4. Okay. Or this piece of history or philosophy or grammar, right? Maybe you're not an author, but maybe you learned something about grammar and you had to correctly, answer the quiz or the examination, okay, without any intent to use it in your life, right? That would be what I would call a glib approach, right? So we've got a surface knowledge, but we haven't really used it. In other words, we don't have practical application. And I think when it comes to my ability, I'll speak for myself, my ability to apply these principles into my life, I haven't done it alone. Koila and several others in our conversation yesterday introduced the idea that yes, self-reliance, and yes, also here's this idea of the catalyst of an other or others, right? Through which we can get more workability, usability, practical application, mass, objective reality stuff, right? So I mean, think about that. Everything we do is in relationship to something else, not to get too far out with you here, but we're not just floating around in space, right? It all starts with, here we are on the planet with gravity, sucking air and doing the thing. Okay, so now what? Now we've got these tools. We've got this reality we can work with. How do we apply these more abstract, lofty ideas, perhaps, into our daily life? That's what this is about. And that, I don't know anybody can do that alone. Now, I appreciate visionary people, right, who break records for the first time, where the subjective belief is that no one can run a mile in under 4 minutes. And for centuries, no one could do it. And then this guy, Roger Bannister, did it. And now everybody can do it. Well, anybody who's an athlete. I mean, that's the standard now. That's not the limit. That's the standard. You're going to be a sprinter, right? You got to do, I don't know, is that considered a sprint? Anyway, you got to do a mile in under 4 minutes, right? Or don't bother showing up. When did that happen? Recently, considering, you know, the history of the world. All right. But that application of technique or of concept or of, you know, the philosophy of running, that application of it opened up new possibilities for people who previously had considered, I can't. So when I get into, and yeah, this is getting a little bit heavy now, but when I get into what is the purpose of this group? Why do we all show up here every day or every week or on these other shows that we're going to be putting on the calendar here, that are on the calendar, that are about to be launched? Why? Because we're interested in having the experience of being, doing, and having more. I'm interested in whatever degree I can participate in rehabilitating causation in my own life. And again, you don't do this alone, right? You can't give anything away. It always comes back, right? So you being more causative, in other words, literally in other words, more effective in your life, cause and effect, right? So rehabilitating and augmenting that to the point where you've got purpose, focus, action, and results, damn it. And I think that's the thing. So a lecture alone, right? Does that put someone into action? Does that put me into action? Well, I guess if my necessity level is really high, I may get off my ass. But now that we're not doing it alone, I have to get off my ass, right? You get that gym membership, you might show up. You get the personal trainer, you're definitely showing up. Of course, right now, none of us have a gym membership, do we? Because man, I'm so tired of this whole COVID thing. I have had enough. But we're going to get through this. So thank you, Ego. JLSuccessMastermind.com is the spot. W's may or may not be necessary. But yeah, there's that. I am so excited to launch this and that you all are going to be part of the inner circle. So that being said, here's the little idea that I wanted to share with you today. I've had some conversations privately with a few of you over the last couple of days. Ivier, you've got your hand up. Ivier, let me yield the floor to you. You've got your hand up. Come on out, my friend. Oops, I just accidentally muted you. Crap. All right. There you are.
Thanks, John. I wasn't able to make it. I wasn't able to make it yesterday. You got my name right. Yay. Thank you.
I'm begging everyone whose name I've been incorrectly pronouncing, please disabuse me of my erroneous ways. Thank you. Right.
And I almost want to say sorry for not being here yesterday, but I think I'm the one. I think I missed out on more, or it probably affected me more not being on the call yesterday, and I didn't realize what a treasure this is, and what you've just said about you can do it on your own, but it's just the connections that we're making on here. It's just adding to our, I think, commitment and motivation to get up and get going and do what we need to do. Mm-hmm. And so I met with somebody who I probably haven't seen in about 6 months yesterday, probably pre-COVID. January was probably the last time I set eyes on her. And I knew she'd been going through a rough time. She's been having severe panic attacks and, you know, anxiety levels. And I mean, she's just been down in the dumps, and her skin has been showing the effects of what's going on internally with her. And so I thought I'd make time out yesterday just to catch up and see her face to face, having not done it almost all year. And she immediately commented on the change in me. She said, "Who is this person?" And she said already through my messages to her, WhatsApp or text messages or emails, that the first few times she heard from me during the, you know, severe lockdown restrictions and all of that, she'd look at her screen to make sure the sender was who she thought it was. And then she'd check her contacts to make sure my number hadn't changed, because she couldn't believe that it was the same person she thought she knew pre-COVID that was communicating with her. And so when I said to her that there's a group of people that I talk to every day, where we're all over the world, but we get together for about an hour and, you know, we just bounce ideas off each other. It's almost like we're a support group of sorts. I mean, they're like my mastermind. I mean, that was the word I used. And she looked at me in awe and she thought, I need to get one of those. And I didn't realize how effective or how impactful this group has been, because it's almost like every conversation I have now, somewhere in that conversation, people mention, there's something different about you. What is it? So much so that my organization has put on workshops about mental well-being and mental health and resilience and all of that. And I'm just like, I've got my own support structures in place. I've got my own mechanisms to keep myself engaged and upbeat. And it's just, you take for granted that in a season like we're in, people are really struggling. They don't have, groups like this, to connect with, that are going to make that difference, in their lives. And so I think yesterday, not being on the call, I suddenly realized, oh my goodness, this is almost like a lifeline of sorts for me. And it set the tone for my evening, really, because I felt like a part of my day wasn't done. And so that 4-letter word you like so much, I mean, I usually after this call, I go, yay, I was on the call, done. And I couldn't do that yesterday. And I almost got down in the dumps, but then I thought to myself, no, don't go there. You're going to be on tomorrow. And now you know the value of what missing a session is. You're very unlikely to miss future sessions. But because I hadn't done that in a while, I didn't realize, just how useful and how part of my day now this is. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. I mean, I sometimes until yesterday, I think I didn't realize the full impact of what this is. And just to let everybody out there know that the difference in us as individuals and collectively is already so positive that, we're bound to attract, the kind of people we want to meet. We're bound to be successful because we started something here that I don't even think we know just how far this is going to carry us. I mean, if the feedback we're getting is just the start of the journey, I mean, my mind boggles as to where we're going to end up. And I'm super excited. So yeah, thank you, John.
Thank you. Wow. So Ivier stole the show. And yes, everyone, that's how you pronounce her name. Now, all right. I've known all along. No, I kept calling her Ivy. Oh my goodness. You know what? Since we're already in the sharing portion of it, I may save the little idea I wanted to share with you until next week. But let's go to Evelyn. What's going on, Evelyn?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I've been having problems with my microphone since yesterday, but I'm not going to take that much time. All I wanted to say is something that came to me after yesterday's call. And it's that each one of these little squares we see on the whole panel, we're each one of us a piece of the puzzle that you started to put together. That was it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I've never done it alone. Right. So in fact, I remember, Evelyn, I think I was saying to you, or maybe it was in the group, that the dynamic of this would be a lot different if it was just me, talking to a camera lens, right? Which I could do too, right? I've recorded lots of videos. I've done a lot of like video marketing and stuff like that. I know we had a conversation, was it earlier this week, about using the internet or technology to communicate and to sell, essentially. I can do that, but it's a different dynamic when the camera lens talks back. It's a different dynamic. So I'm so glad you're here, Evelyn, and Javier. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
There he is, amigo.
What I mean to say by that, just to make a point, each one of us have a strength, and each one of us are learning from each one of you, and we are very grateful, and we continue to do that. If you really pay attention, each one of us have a strength in something, have a background in something, and we're all contributing to this big picture that you started, John. So we're thankful. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. By the way, part of the membership will include, if you've got a specialty, right? You want to offer services to insiders, at special rates or whatever. We're still putting all that together, but we're going to have resources and, you need, this sort of service and that, right? So that's going to be like private links inside the member site for access to various businesses that we have contained within the Mastermind group. So really excited. I can't wait either, Therese. We've been like almost 3 weeks working on this. So good stuff. But here's a little idea that I wanted to share with everyone, and we can, because we're already half hour in. Look at that, and I got a meeting at the top of the hour. So here's the idea that I wanted to share with you. I've had people talk with me about affirmations. Certainly, we've heard about the idea of affirmation or autosuggestion, which means basically that which we tell ourselves about ourselves most often. Right. So we can get into like, what is the product of that? The product of that is a self-image. The product of that is an expectation of one's own ability to perform, to be, do, and have. Right. So if someone walks around with a internal dialogue that is, self-deprecating and somehow discounting your own ability, like what we just heard from Evelyn, she just acknowledged, she just affirmed. Yes, she did. She just affirmed the strength of each individual. Okay. And how that's an asset, not only to yourself, but to the group, to society, to the marketplace. Fantastic. Thank you for being part of the solution, because the alternative is, well, you get to be part of the problem, right? So since we've got these ideas that are always rolling around in our head, it would be a good idea to be deliberate about it, right? So let's look, right? And this, I think, goes in line with something like Nicola. By the way, Nicola, who's having a big birthday this week. Happy birthday, Nicola. I can't say her age, but maybe she'll reveal it. 20, I believe, 20. Yes. So, but she's going to be doing like a group intention, affirmation, meditation kind of thing. We'll see where that goes. Okay. But the idea here is that we can be deliberate about the words we choose. The first thing we got to do is look. You can't solve if it's a problem, right? You can't solve any problem without confronting the problem, right? So what is it that you tell yourself about yourself most often, chronically, throughout the day, or just before you go to bed at night, or just when you wake up in the morning? How many of you spring out of bed in the morning like, damn the torpedoes, let's go, I'm here to make my mark, I'm here to have an effect, damn it, here I come, world? Do you think Ivier does that? I suspect she does. I suspect she does. And has that ability or willingness to spring into action? Is that an accident or something? No, we just heard, the transformation. Here's a third party, someone who's known her for some time, that was thinking, maybe this is an imposter. Who is this person talking to me? Imposter. And how attractive is the new and improved, right? Ivier in the case of that communication. Okay, so, but here's where people sometimes go astray, because there's lots of books that you could read and lots of advice that you could take about affirmation and autosuggestion. I'm going to suggest that we come up with one. Here's the confusion that comes up. Well, I heard that one and that one and that one and that one and that one, and people have 15 sticky notes all over the place, and they got to read every affirmation 15 times a day, like somehow forcing themselves to consciously think about all these different things that they don't really feel are true for them, but they're trying to force it in, right? It's like they're telling themselves a lie, lots of lies. So here's my suggestion. If it occurs as a lie, what you want to do is you want to word one affirmation. We're going to start with one. Okay. You want to word it in a way that it does not cause an argument between your, I guess I could say, conscious and subconscious mind, but really it's your conscious mind arguing with itself. It's that cognitive dissonance. It's that inner conflict. Yes, this is what I want, but just by the virtue of the fact that I want means that I don't have, right? Because you don't want stuff that you have, right? So want means or implies that you don't have. Okay, so can we word things? Can we pick one affirmation? No confusion here. No big, long friggin' list. I don't need a big list. One thing that you would like to be true about yourself and your reality that you could start deliberately reminding yourself of first thing in the morning, last thing in the night, and then as often as you think about it throughout the day. And yeah, a sticky note, perhaps, or not, your choice. That's a device. Uh-oh, we got an echo here with Cyril. Perhaps a sticky note or some sort of a reminder. I used to have this thing. I wound up selling it because my iPhone does everything now, but it was called the Affirmation Station or something like that. It was a little device, like a beeper or a buzzer, right? You guys remember the beepers from back in the 1900s. So it was this little thing. You set a time on it. It's got a little countdown clock, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, and during that duration, it'll buzz, and you wear it on your belt. It's a little belt clip, little buzzer device. And when it buzzes, you're supposed to remember your affirmation or whatever it is. And so, so whatever the device is, I don't care. But is there one thing that you would like to have more real in your life? What did Earl Nightingale say the definition of success is, or his favorite definition of success? The progressive realization of a worthy ideal. The progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That doesn't mean you've arrived. In fact, as soon as you tell me you've arrived, I'm going to be looking at you skeptically, right? Unless you're handing me fish and loaves or something. Okay. So progressively realizing, making more real. What is that worthy ideal? That could come down to a goal, like a goal statement. Okay. But within that goal statement, is there something that you're not going to argue with yourself about, that you could say, you know what, I accept that right now. There's no argument there. I've offered you from time to time Emile Coué's famous affirmation that he offered the world. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Does that cause an argument? Do you have inner conflict when you say that to yourself? No. But here's what it'll do. Will it start causing you to look at other ways in your life that you've gotten better and better, or that you could? I mentioned exercise before, lamenting the fact that the gyms, at least here locally, the public gyms are closed, right? So I got to work with gravity and I'll do what I do. Okay, but I like going to the gym. The gym's closed. Well, every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. All right, so how can I do that right now? Right now, meaning right now, how can I do that? I can do some jumping jacks, get down on the floor, do some push-ups, do something. And yes, I've just proven to myself, that's a real affirmation. I'm affirming truth, not affirming a lie, right? Every tiny step we take in our business, have we gotten better? Of course, that's another way we got better. Every time I stop and just acknowledge my daughter, my wife, right? What is that, right? Think about that. Think about how often married couples or families take each other for granted and they don't stop to appreciate and acknowledge the other person. Can I do that every day? I'm getting better and better every day in my relationships. What's another one? This one's from Dr. Joseph Murphy out of the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And this one just stuck with me. In fact, when I first started making big money, this was one of the affirmations that really hit it for me. By day and by night, I am being prospered in all of my interests. By day and by night, I am being prospered in all of my interests. That's very interesting wording. So that means by day, whether I'm working, by night, whether I'm sleeping, I am being prospered. Oh, I am being prospered. It's happening to me. I'm not necessarily the doer. Now we're getting a little bit lofty. Okay. I've got the intention. Okay. But what happened? Oh, that order came in, Jane and Neil. That order came in while you weren't working. You are being prospered in all of your interests. Oh, so the fitness goals as well. That's right. And as we accept that, well, what happens? We don't pick up the cake. Maybe we choose the celery or something, right? Because that reminder keeps coming up. And yes, you made a better choice, but you wouldn't have if the self-image wasn't of the person who is being prospered in all of your interests. Okay, I'm just throwing out a couple examples here. Fill in the blank. I'll give you one more. And again, just pick one. Start with one. Okay, and you can add a couple more on there. But don't force a laundry list of crap down your own throat. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. This one's really, 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 really easy. It's one word: wealth or success. One word, a concept. Now, is that something we can argue about? Well, no, I'm not saying I am wealthy. I am a millionaire. I mean, if you are, fantastic. If you're lying to yourself, now that's not a workable affirmation, right? But the concept of wealth, yeah, does that exist? Yeah, right now, yeah, it exists right now. That's real. That's a real concept. Okay, well, I'll just remind myself that exists. That's real. The progressive realization of a worthy ideal. I'm not forcing a reality upon myself. I'm affirming a reality that already exists. And the closer I get with that idea, the more it becomes mine. The more I find evidences that it is more real in my life. We get what we think about. So anything we validate, even one word like wealth or success, make sure you got a good definition of that, by the way. Make sure you understand what success means, right? Before you just saying success to yourself. Okay. So grab a dictionary, listen to Earl Nightingale, right? Talk amongst yourselves. What the hell is this wealth thing? What is that? What does that even mean? Okay. Great. Now that you know, you can have that just one word as a reminder. And that which we validate expands. So just like that internal dialogue of, I'm so worthless, or whatever the self-deprecating ideas are, because we're on our own worst critics. How do I know that? Because I am too. Okay. So just the idea that we're validating a worthy concept, a worthy ideal in our life makes it more real in our life. We find evidences. Some of you are familiar with some of these mental faculties and so-called laws, right? Or things like the reticular activating system, right? You got that new car, right? And suddenly you see that car, or you want to get the new car, right? And you see that car every time on the street, you see that car, right? I'm considering another new Lexus, right? So I really like the new ES. It is just, it's like, I like the LS too, but I don't need that much car. But that new ES, and every time I see one, it's like a tractor beam, like, there it is there. And if I see a black one, oh my goodness. Oh, a black one, right? But I see it more because I've got it, I've got the picture in my mind. Did it exist before? Yeah, they're all over the place. Very common car. I mean, not as common as a Toyota Corolla or something, but sure, right? So we see that which is real to us, and we filter out that which is not real. That is a beautiful thing. What a great time saver. So let's filter out the things that we don't want by supplanting them. Same thing with habits, by the way, right? You don't just drop a habit. You have to replace it with a new habit. So if you got a habitual thought or a habitual internal dialogue, you can't just say, I am now renouncing that. No, I am replacing that deliberately with this stuff. There are no vacuums, right? And nature doesn't like vacuums, right? You can even try this. You can even try this with your clothes. I know this is a fun exercise. We'll talk about it more another time. We're already 43 minutes in, my goodness. But there's another exercise called the vacuum law of prosperity. I learned this from Bob Proctor. He said, you've got these clothes that you haven't worn in a year, whether they're in season or not, right? It's like they just sit there on the rack. And you got these other ideas of maybe more fashions that you would like or whatever. But your closet's already full. He said, give the stuff away. Give it away, right? Nature does not like a vacuum. And that empty closet will be filled with the stuff you actually want. And there's going to be like one garment that you go and you take it off the hanger and it's going to be like welded on because you paid a lot for it, but it doesn't really fit right. Give it away. Watch what happens. Right. So he's called that the vacuum law of prosperity, making room for, we do this with employees, right? So if you're hiring, right, put the desk, put the phone, computer, right? I don't have anybody to sit there yet. That seat will get filled. It will, right? So we get what we expect. So start telling yourself what to expect. And those are my ideas to end the week. I hope you got something out of that. We got a few hands up. We got Kathy and Cyril and Adrian and Coral. Hey, Kathy, what's going on?
Happy Friday.
Happy
Oops,
Friday.
I didn't unmute myself, right?
Yep, you are live.
Okay.
There you are.
Right. Well, the first thing that came to my mind was the statement you made a long time ago, to make a spectacle of yourself. And for me, that thought immediately came against some of my earlier upbringing, because I was a spectacle and it was always trying to bring that down. You're a show off, you're la, 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 you can't sit still, all of that, probably ADHD, but they didn't have it then, whatever, who knew, who knows? But anyway, so when I heard that, I was very much drawn to that. And that whole concept has been replacing that image that was, sit down, shut up, be still, all of that. So now I am convinced that I am a spectacle, and I don't mind showing up as a spectacle, although it feels very awkward as an adult because it was put down so hard as a child. So just so you know, that's my one thing, and that's what I have pursued. So thanks.
Wow, there you go. That is well done, my friend. And it's always good to hear you, right? So the more people that hear you, the more people that see you, the more attention you attract to yourself, your business, where do all opportunities occur? Through other people. So yeah, please make a spectacle of yourself. Do something. Right? Let's go to Cyril and then Adrian. Hey, Cyril.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Sorry, excuse me, let me get rid of the echo. It's not so much saying something. I was just wanted to ask a question because I can't remember who I was reading the other week. I've been reading a lot of John Maxwell, who's been amazing. But somebody I picked up said it's actually the cognitive dissonance between what your affirmation says and what your brain has been thinking previously is part of the way your brain starts then to move towards it if you're working on it, so to speak. In that cognitive dissonance is there to actually help to push you forward, because without it you'll be too satisfied with, or too comfortable rather. No?
You're there. Go ahead, sir.
Sorry, can you say that again? I didn't hear you.
No. Did you complete your thought? Because yeah, I could see where.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, I could see where there would be tension can be good. Dissatisfaction can be good. Why do we have light bulbs? Because Tom Edison was dissatisfied with candles and oil lamps. Thanks, Tom. Right. So if he was satisfied, well, who gives a damn about light bulbs? Right. We already failed 5,000 times. We're going to do another 5,000. Nah, screw it. No, dissatisfied. So I get the whole tension thing, but I will tell you that I like to be in the flow. And I find that I go a whole lot faster when I'm not fighting myself. So if I can have something definite in terms of that I can agree with consciously, I can consciously agree with, I'm not fighting with myself anymore. That can be an on-ramp to higher gradient stuff. Right now we're going to fight. Okay, that's fine. And we'll take that, take on the bigger dog. But right now I want the Chihuahua, right? I want a nice mild, actually Chihuahuas aren't mild at all. I got a Chihuahua that he would attack a German Shepherd or a Chow like it was nothing. He would lose, of course, but just crazy. Never mind. I'm completely afield of what we're talking about. But thank you, Cyril, for that. Try it either way. What works for me is to not cause myself to argue with myself by lying to myself, because I'm pretty friggin' smart and I know when I'm doing it. So that's my reality. We'll see how that works with you. Adrian, what say you, sir? You're quite the student of this sort of thing.
John, another great call. I think the calls wash over you like a comfortable wave, and then they grab you by the lapels and pull you in, and it always makes me think. I've never thought in my affirmations about wealth and success. What I say to myself, and I always have done, is every day I'm having fun and I'm doing it with passion. And if I do that, I know it's all going to work. It pulls in the right results. It attracts the right people. It attracts the right things. It's as simple as that for me. I don't think about the result. I think about just have fun, enjoy what you're doing, and do it with passion. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. And it was summed up in something I read the other day, which basically said your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. And that really summed it up for me.
Thank you. Thank you. So perhaps there's an affirmation in there where, I over deliver, to my customer, or, something fashioned for yourself, of course. Thank you, Adrian. So much insights. Adrian's going on the calendar too. He's going to be one of our facilitators, which, by the way, Adrian, I need to get with you and get you on the calendar. Who's next? We've got Coral and Caroline and then Nancy. And then I think we're wrapping up. Hey, Coral.
Hi, John. Hi, everybody. I don't have much to say on here, but what I hear is absolutely taking me to another level. And but on your thought about affirmations, a few weeks ago, I tuned into Mind Valley, which is on YouTube, and I learned a lot about lofty questions, how to put your affirmation into question form. And always start off with why. So I have about 15 of these, which I say each day. One of them is, why is my life so amazing that it always exceeds my expectations? When I first said that, it made me so emotional. And I realized actually since I had been with Blue Skies and doing this Amazon thing and being on this group, my life had exceeded my expectations. And then there's another one is, why am I so surrounded? Why am I always surrounded by loving and supportive people? And you know what? My subconscious comes up with the answers. It tells me why I'm surrounded by these sort of people. It tells me why my life has exceeded its expectations. And another one is, why do I always do the right thing for my mind, my body, my spirit, and my relationships? And it comes up with the answer is that because my input, my information every day, the things I put into my head and into my heart are what I give out. So if you're taking in positivity, that's what you're giving out. If you're taking in love and support, that's what you give out. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. So we can word it as a question as well. And guess what? We're going to get an answer. We're going to get an answer. Thank you so much, Coral. And you're getting some love on your earrings right there as well. Is that grapes or pomegranate seeds? What is that? Oh, I can't hear you right now.
They're pomegranate seeds.
See that? I got it. Pomegranate seeds, baby. Woo! I like me some pomegranates. Hey, let's go to Caroline and then Nancy. And it looks like Glenn's going to talk today as well.
Hi, everyone. So today I wanted to share a couple of things, and it's just great that it's on topic because I wanted to share about my affirmations and another little trick I'm doing in case it's useful to anyone. So with my affirmations, I've been doing them quite regularly since doing the Miracle Morning a couple of months ago. So a combination of affirmations and declarations. And that's kind of going really well. And I've just kind of gone from just sitting down doing them to maybe doing them sometimes in the mirror to actually doing them moving around. And then a couple of days ago, I started doing something that just feels really powerful, actually. And I just walk around my kitchen, but I imagine I'm on a stage and I'm talking to all the people that I know, all the people I've ever known, whether it's family, friends, people from school, I don't know, just everyone. And I'm just telling them how it is about me, my life, where I'm going with these declarations, and everyone's like rooting for me, not in detail, but that's the vibration is like delivering it. And I just found that the passion and feeling in my statements is gone much higher. So I don't know if it's just something to play with. I mean, you know, it's just one of these things. And the other thing is look at this. Anyone seen this before? It's like this. So if you're working with trying to change your mindset and you have that voice, like for me, it's this is all about money. So whenever I have like a thought, which is anxiety around money, worry, any negative talk, but it can be about anything, you just flick yourself and it kind of hurts. So it's just a little trick to try and reprogram the subconscious from chucking out negative thoughts. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to share those.
There you go. I've seen. I think my daughter even did that a bit with like a little reminder band on her arm. Good stuff, Caroline. And we are going to wrap up with Nancy and Glenn and any burning desires. Hey, Nancy.
Hi, everyone. It's always insightful to hear everyone share. Thank you. Thank you, John. The affirmation that seems to really work for me is one that places me in context of life. So it's not just me out there doing stuff with my own ego. It's me in the flow of life. So my life as a co-creation with God, the divine consciousness, however you want to frame that. So, and then I'll share it in just a second. And then it also has me using this language where I'm open and receptive. So it is, I'm in the flow of life, receiving the blessings that are ever present. And I like that because it can go in all areas, right? It's not just money, because I'm working on getting a beautiful partner. I'm working on having my own home again. Like I want it all. Okay. So, and that the blessings are ever present, right? They're continuing to accumulate.
Beautiful. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah. And as you're saying that, I'm seeing for the first time, I'm seeing your Buddha there in the background. It's beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Good stuff. Okay. And we're going to wrap up. I do have a meeting at the top of the hour. We're going to wrap up with Mr. Henderson. What's up, Glenn?
Reverend Lavinia,
Yes.
To start with, and I'll make it fast. To start with, I like every day in every way I'm getting better and better because it's true and it's fun. I've always taken back to the memory of The Peter Sellers movie, The Pink Panther, right? That's where I heard it first from Inspector Dreyfus. Anyway, this whole conversation has been really refreshing, and it's a nice reminder for me. And I'm going to wrap up with a little call to action to our mastermind family here. Here's what I'm talking about. I've spent decades. I'm going to get a little raw here for a second, so y'all cover your virgin ears. I have spent decades bullshitting myself. Spent decades, literally over 40 years, telling myself stuff that I didn't believe. Quoting affirmations that I knew were crap because I wasn't doing the whatever it was, or I wasn't being the, you know what I'm talking about, right? John, when you said today, pick one, and preferably pick one that doesn't have you yourself arguing with yourself. So I love that. Absolutely adore it. So I like it every day and anyway, here's the call to action. Do you know somebody? This is a rhetorical question because the answer is going to be yes across the board. Do you know somebody right now in a business adventure, in some side who's trying to accomplish something in their life, but you just know them well enough to know that they're bullshitting themselves with 57 affirmations, none of which they actually believe? You know somebody like that, don't you? Here's the call to action. Get them into this mastermind. Get them to listen to this man, John. Get them to immerse themselves, bring them here so they can immerse themselves in the power of this collective mind, the power of this collective intellect. Get them in here so they can know that it's okay to win. It's okay to tell themselves the truth. It's okay for them to change their life for the better. Just get them into the group. Back to you, John.
Glenn, I'm glad you're here. Those of you who are just meeting Glenn, I've known Glenn for years. This guy, he's something. And of course, he's going to be running our Wednesday evening event, which for our Brits, you're going to have to catch the replay because it's going to be middle of the night for you. Just like our Aussies have to catch the replay on our general session every day. So thank you guys for being here with me. It's a very exciting week. Stay tuned to your emails because this, I think, is going to be the last time we're on this Zoom channel. Yeah, so we're getting stuff launched. Stay tuned to your email. Anyone who needs me, you know how to reach me, info@johnlavenia.com. And I will look forward to seeing you all real soon. All right. Have a great weekend, my friends.
Have a great weekend.
As long and
Bye.
prosperous.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.